Wrestling fans, promoters, wrestlers, and anyone who enjoys pro wrestling now have something new to be excited about. The Wrestling Fans International Association, the WFIA, is back. WFIA is an association that exists to promote, grow, and support professional wrestling throughout the world. Membership is free. Your membership includes a free digital bi-monthly publication of the Wrestling Fan News newsletter, association updates, voting privileges, and much more. Please go to thewfia.org, that's thewfia.org, and become a member today.
Ooh.
Hey, there we are.
Baby, we're going a deadline.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Hell yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Welcome to Slamtown. As you know, I am the sensational Sam Housen, and joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Mr. Intimidating Tim. Tim,
What's
how the
up?
hell are you?
Dude, I'm doing good. It's a bit cold out here, so I'm all bundled up. But, dude,
it snowed today.
Dude, I wish we could have gotten some of that. It didn't snow around
here.
Yeah,
it snowed here in Connecticut. That was wild.
Good shit. Dude, let me tell you, I'm freaking pumped for this weekend.
Yeah. We've watched wrestling together live on television, but we've never watched it live in the arena. We should mention we have a third guest coming with us. That is my dear old father, Rowdy Ralph, as we like to call him.
Hey.
He's going to rip shit up in the crowd with us.
Oh, I'm excited.
Dude, it's going to be such a good time. For those of you that don't know, NXT Deadline is this weekend. It's coming live from Bridgeport, Connecticut, the Total Mortgage Arena. Timothy, my father, and I will be sitting on the floor. We've got floor seats for this bad boy. It's very exciting. I don't think we're in the zone where we get the souvenir chair, but we will find out. And not only is this a wrestling live together thing, there'll also be a little sleepover involved. Stay up late, gossip about the wrestlers like boys do.
We're gonna hang out. Yeah.
We're gonna hang out, give each other makeovers. Maybe I'll put Tim in some Ultimate Warrior face paint. Who knows?
Ooh. I'll paint your face to look like Sting.
Oh shit! Hell yeah! I was gonna say Danhausen, but that's close. It's the same energy. So tonight we thought we would break down the card for you guys. Maybe give a little prediction as to who we think's gonna walk away as the victors, and yeah, it should be a good time. Very excited to see Deadline live. For those of you that don't know, it does have its own signature gimmick match, and we will get to that a little later in the show.
Indeed.
Before we start discussing, is there any match like that sticks out that is what you're most excited for before you even get there?
Ooh, I gotta say, I'm excited to see Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee for the championship. Because Dragon Lee, I think you said this when we were covering Survivor Series. Was his match at Survivor Series, was that Dragon Lee's debut for a pay-per-view?
That was his debut. Yeah, that was his main roster pay-per-view debut. He's been on a couple of the NXT shows, but that was his debut for the main roster.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I like seeing him there. I like watching Dom wrestle too. It's fun to cheer against him as often as everyone does. But yeah, I think it'll be a good match. I think Dragon Lee. It seems like they're kind of bringing him up and coming a little. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
So excited for that match as well. One I'm very excited for is the NXT title match between Ilya Dragunov, the champion, and Baron Corbin, the challenger, because I don't know what it is, but like Baron Corbin on the main roster never really did anything for me, but his return to NXT, like this run he's on now, fucking amazing. This guy's doing great.
Yeah, he's got really good like mic skills too. They did a whole segment at the end of yesterday's NXT show. Yesterday being Tuesday.
Yes.
And yeah, like he was great.
Oh man. So with that, we've got our matches that we're most excited for. We'll see if these ones end up being our most hype after the fact. But what's going to start the show? They actually have a kickoff match for Deadline. It's going to be on the kickoff show, which is like 7 p.m. to 8 before the pay-per-view goes live. That's kind of where the hosts do what we're doing, break down the matches, kind of talk about the rivalry, what led us to that moment, who they think's going to win. And sometimes to just break it up so it's not all talking, they'll have a match on the kickoff show. So for the kickoff, we're doing Axiom versus Nathan Frazier.
Yeah, and actually during the NXT show on Tuesday, these two had a match, but it ended up being a draw because I think all of the women that are going to be in the 6-person match kind of came out and wrecked things. Or not the 6-person match, the 5-person match.
The Iron Survivor.
Yeah. So it seems like this will be kind of a redux, as they call it.
Yeah. I'm very excited. Axiom and Nathan Frazier, two smaller guys, kind of cruiserweight builds. If this match is good on the kickoff, I think this is just further proof that Triple H and Creative at this moment are going to try to reestablish a cruiserweight division.
Yeah, because that's something you've been saying for a while now, that they should kind of start bringing back.
Really feels like they're going to do it. Like, they have so much talent that isn't in the heavyweight weight class, but can like still go with the bigger guys.
Right.
It feels weird that they don't have a title for the smaller dudes at this moment.
Right.
I think they have enough talent on the roster at the moment that they can kind of flesh out a division. So that, like, it seems like a good time to do it. Maybe with the new year coming, it'll kick off in 2024. Hell, they could even bring back the Cruiserweight Classic, and I think Axiom and Nathan Frazier would be two great picks to have in that tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I will say about Nathan Frazier, did you know he is Seth Rollins' protege?
Really? I did
Yeah,
not.
Seth Rollins trained him.
Personally trained. Wow.
Yeah,
He'll be someone to watch for sure.
Yeah, right before he debuted for NXT, he actually appeared on an episode of AEW like the week before.
Oh, wow.
He was just like an enhancement talent that came in, and then they were like, oh, he didn't sign a contract, and then he showed up in NXT as Nathan Frazier. I think he was briefly the UK Heritage Cup champion for like a week or two. We got back to Noam Dar.
Pretty cool.
But both of these guys are insanely talented. This one's going to be fast-paced, high-flying.
Yeah.
Axiom, under the mask, is this wrestler named A-Kid. He was featured a lot on the NXT UK when that was still a promotion. So, like, there's NXT, the black and gold, and then that shut down and became NXT 2.0, which was like that multicolored, like, paint splotch thing.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, there was NXT UK, which was, there was the UK title, and they had this tournament, and the first winner was crowned at the end of the tournament, and then they made their own show for all those titles. So like the NXT UK title, UK tag titles, the women's UK title. So the current version of NXT is the NXT 2.0 mashed up with the NXT UK guys to make it like an NXT 3.0 without calling it NXT 3.0.
That makes sense.
It's just called NXT, and it's supposed to be like, it's supposed to give the vibe of the black and gold NXT, but with the 2.0 guys.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm picking up
what
you're putting down.
Yeah, A-Kid was cool. He's like, he was just like this Spanish high flyer guy. He didn't wear a mask when he was A-Kid, but when he became Axiom in 2.0, he put the mask on.
He donned the mask.
I just wish there was more to like talk about with this one. It is the kickoff show, so it's like those matches never usually are like the best, but sometimes they could be like sleeper match of the show. It's just a shame that it's on the kickoff because like some people don't watch the kickoff, and then it's like the arena isn't even full yet. It's like half capacity when this match goes on.
Yeah,
sometimes
that's got to be hard for them to kind of feed off of the live audience that, you know, people are just coming in, maybe not even paying attention or anything. But
this is when people are in the merch line getting their T-shirts, grabbing a beer, that kind of thing. before the show starts because like you don't want to miss the main show. It's just kind of shitty that these two talented guys are stuck on the kickoff.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that did happen a
We'll be
lot with the
supporting them.
cruiserweights. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
like when the cruiserweight title still existed, the cruiserweight title match was almost always on the kickoff show. It's like, put these guys on the main roster. People like this shit.
Yeah.
You
Kind of
fucks.
sucks that they put a whole division there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll be fun. We'll be there live. We'll be cheering on our guys. It'll be fun.
Whooping and hollering, as they
Yeah.
say.
I'm gonna hold up the sign I haven't made and won't be bringing. I have nothing against people bringing signs. Just 9 times out of 10, the biggest, dumbest sign is already always in my line of sight. I'm like, I can't fucking see.
Yeah.
Put your sign down.
I think good etiquette is like you hold up the sign for like a few seconds and then you put it down. I think the camera's panning. Put it down.
Yeah. Last time I went to see AEW in this arena, because every time they come to Connecticut, this is usually where they are.
Right.
There was a guy holding a sign, and he was wearing a Joey Ryan T-shirt, and Joey Ryan was like, he got Me Too movemented, and it's like, oh, you're fucking still wearing the shirt? Fuck you, guy. And like
Didn't have
people
another shirt you could wear.
yeah, like, oh, I'm edgy. Ooh, look at me. Like that guy's a fucking sex offender. Fuck you, dude.
Oh man.
Like, ugh. Don't wear the merch, man. It's like people who wore Velveteen Dream T-shirts when he was still like actively being investigated for being a child predator. It's like,
Yikes.
okay, I know he's like talented, but no, fuck that dude. Come on, like, ugh, scuzzy.
Big yuck.
And now that we're done, don't be a child predator. It's bad. Fuck you.
There you go. That's good advice to round it out with.
Yeah, like, don't be a scumbag. We've got the opening match for the main card, and that is Carmelo Hayes versus Lexis King. I'm never gonna get used to calling Brian Pillman Jr. Lexis King. It's just weird. Like every time I say it, I think it's a female because like Lexus, Lexi.
Right.
I think it is his sister's name. Like it's a tribute to like his mom and his sister. I think I read that somewhere, but this match could be pretty good. I think Brian Pillman Jr. is very talented. I don't think
Carmelo Hayes is really good too.
Oh my god, yeah. I don't think he's found his footing in NXT just yet. But I think this could be a good like jumping off point for his NXT. I don't think he's gonna beat Carmelo, but you don't necessarily need to win to be like to get the eyes on you. Like he's gonna put in work against Carmelo. Because you know what they say. Mello don't miss. Mello's money, baby.
That's what they say.
Oh God.
Quite often, by the way. They say that quite often.
It's his catchphrase. Yeah, Carmelo Hayes, very talented guy. I'm still shocked he dropped the title to Dragunov when he did.
Yeah.
But I still think he's utilized well on NXT. I think he's going to make the jump to the main roster after, not like directly after Deadline. I think that they're going to reveal that he is the one that attacked Trick in that backstage segment. And then once he wraps up a feud with Trick, he'll go to the main roster. And I'm going to add one more layer to that. I think when he goes main roster, he's going to join up with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
The Street Profits. Yeah, I could see
that. Be like
happening.
a new Hurt Business.
Yeah.
I'll
be excited for it when it happens. He's definitely talented from the matches I've seen him in.
I think this match opening the show is also a very good idea because having your former champion and someone who is as popular as Carmelo is kick off the show, dude, it's gonna pop when that entrance hits. Like, come on!
Great way to
looking at the rest
going.
of the card, looking at the rest of the card, I think it's gonna maintain that energy the whole time we're there, from start to finish. It's gonna be like I don't think anything's gonna derail the momentum of the entire show because this is the last NXT show of 2023. Not like the weekly ones, like the last big pay-per-view.
Right.
Like with the winners of the Iron Survivors and everything, that'll kind of set in motion the first big feud of the new year. That's why they do it at the last show.
Right.
Do you have a prediction for the winner?
I think Carmelo's going to take it, to be honest.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
Carmelo's going to beat Lexis King.
Yeah.
I think Lexis King needs to get a new finisher because like that weird rope hang move.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he needs more fleshing out as a character. Like I don't get what he is.
Right.
You know?
Right. And I feel like that's stuff that comes with time, and it seems like they're giving him some matches and some spotlight to kind of develop that stuff. So
yeah, I'm excited that his first like big feud is with Carmelo, so that'll be interesting. I just hope it doesn't like derail him because I think he has potential to like if Dragon Lee doesn't do it, he could be the one to take the title off of Dom, or if Dragon Lee does win that match, first feud for Dragon Lee.
mm-hmm.
I think that'd be cool. But
Yeah.
Before we get to that, next up we've got a steel cage match between Roxanne Perez and Kiana James.
Yes. And I think midway through the NXT show on Tuesday, they announced the stipulation that it was going to be a steel cage match. So that was pretty exciting.
That's going to be so good. I was talking to my dad before we were recording, and I was like, hey, have you seen the card for the show yet? And he's like, oh, no, what's on it? And I'm like, there's the 2 Iron Survivor matches. And he's like, oh, that's cool. I like a gimmick match. I was like, and there's a steel cage match. He was like, oh, what? I've never seen a steel cage live before. That's pretty cool.
Ooh.
I'm like, yeah, it's
There
going
you
to
go.
be a steel cage women's match. And he was like, oh, that'll be good. I'm excited for that. I'll
Yeah.
cheer.
Cheer to that.
Yeah. Roxanne Perez, I think, is very talented. Well, she's proven that she's very talented. She was cool when she showed up in Ring of Honor and became one of the Women of Honor champions, and she was trained by Booker T. Like, she's talented.
Yeah.
I think she'll get the win over Kiana in this steel cage match. It's just gonna be like, I think it's gonna be a slugfest. I think it'll be like just violent, but not like deathmatch violent, but like a good time. It'll be like
it seems like the 2 of them have kind of a lot of beef that they want to get out. And
Yeah.
usually like kind of having that high energy, even just like in a normal match makes it exciting, but having the added stipulation of like a steel cage element, it seems like they're going to be able to tell a good story and put on a good show with it.
Right, and I think it's a steel cage is a good feud ender stipulation because it's it's well, like you can win by escaping, but it's like no one else can get in the way. You can't run from the fight, really.
Right.
It's like last ditch effort to get this person off your back.
Where do you go after that? It's like there's nowhere else to go.
Unless they do a Hell in a Cell all of a sudden, but like, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a good end to this feud. And Kiana's going to bring out the loaded pocketbook. Come on.
Oh yeah. Come on. Who we kidding?
100%, my guy.
Yeah. I gotta say though, I think you're right. I do feel, if I had to predict, I think Roxanne is probably going to end up winning, but we will see.
I think aside from the Iron Survivors, looking at these matches, a lot of them you're like, oh, 100% this person's going to win just by looking at it. The only ones, because there's like, it's kind of easy to predict who's going to win in a one-on-one confrontation because you've got 2 choices, but there's 5 people in each Iron Survivor, so it's like,
it's like trying to predict who's going to win Royal Rumble. Like, oh yeah, let me just correctly pick one out of
30
something people.
I don't want to brag, but the year Shinsuke won, I did have Shinsuke winning.
Oh, all right. I remember oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I was gonna say if I have a group like come over to watch Royal Rumble, we're all gonna pick a number between 1 and 30, and then that's your guy to win.
That's your boy.
And then if anyone's closest to the actual winning number, you get a prize. Everybody else has
Nice.
to use shots. You do one shot for each number. Like if you got like Tim randomly got like 17, you'd have to do 17 shots. Wouldn't that be wild?
That's kind of insane.
And then drive home. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive. Be a good, safe boy.
Don't drink and not drive unless you want to be really freaking cool.
Yeah, unless you want to be a cool fucking guy,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No,
like
I was
Dale
gonna
Earnhardt
say.
Jr.
I was gonna say. I remember in college, for like some of the big shows, we would try to predict like result winnings for each of the
Oh
matches,
yeah.
and I think maybe I'd get like one or two right, and you would usually be on the nose for the majority of them.
Do you remember the time we did that and it was the Andre the Giant Battle Royal with Colin Jost and Michael Che?
Yes.
And you picked Jost and I picked Che, and we were like, "Oh, we're just doing the bit. Like they're not gonna win," but they
Right.
came very close to
Yeah.
it. I
It's
think
like, oh my
Braun
god, we had a
Strowman might
chance.
have won that year,
I think so.
but oh man, it's always fun. We love a celebrity wrestling moment.
Yeah. Always a fun time.
So we both got Roxanne winning this one.
Hmm. All right.
Let's see what's
What
up
is
next.
next?
The WWE NXT North American Championship match between Dirty Dominic Mysterio, who's got Mommy in his corner, versus Dragon Lee, who's got Rey
Rey
Mysterio in his corner.
Mysterio.
He's not wrestling, but Rey Mysterio is going to be at this friggin' thing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That was a really cool surprise announcement
Man.
that they pulled. So the original opponent for Dom was supposed to be Wesley. Is that right?
Tuesday night, he announced that he was injured.
Yeah. I was kind of bummed because I was excited to see him because it seems like he's super talented and puts on a good show.
Wesley's
But
pretty cool. And they did have that whole fatal four-way where it's like
right,
Wesley has to win this to get the title match.
right.
So it was Wesley versus three. So Wesley is a former North American champion. That's who.
That's who
Oh
Dom
no,
beat, right?
Trick beat. Yes, Dom beat Wes. Trick beat Dom, and then Dom beat Trick a week later.
Right.
So Dom is a two-time North American champion. Wesley, former North American champion, he had to defeat three other former North American champions in a fatal four-way. So it was Wesley, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and Big Bronson Reed. It was a fun fatal four-way. Did you see that one?
I did not. No, they showed some clips of it on the Tuesday NXT show.
I don't know if they showed the clip, but there was a moment where Bronson had Wesley in like a slam position, like he was holding him for a slam, and Cameron Grimes was like underneath him between his legs, and Johnny Gargano grabs Cameron Grimes' ankles and flips him up to
Yeah.
headbutt Bronson in the dick and balls.
Right,
It
right.
was
They did show that.
the funniest fucking thing I've ever
Oh my
seen.
gosh.
I was
Yeah.
like, what? One thing that was weird about that match was like, what if the other guy won? Would there just have been no North American title match, or would they have gotten it? You know?
Yeah, because it was kind of a weird stipulation. But
When you make it that stipulation, like Wesley has to win this to get the title match. It's like, oh, the guy who's in the feud with the champion, 100% he's gonna win.
yeah,
Like, you're not all of a
I'll
sudden
put
just
money
gonna
on
be
that.
like, Dirty Dom is fighting Big Bronson. It's like that
Right,
doesn't. I don't want to watch that. There's no build.
right.
Like, I do like a clash of like David and Goliath, but something about like two small guys fighting just always it intrigues me. No, they're not small like small. They're still built and like talented athletes. It's just like
Mhm.
sometimes I get bored of watching the big huge dudes go at it. So this match is gonna, I think, I know I said Dragunov and Corbin was one I was most excited for, but I think this'll might be match of the night.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
In terms of predictions, I feel like I honestly feel like it could be a toss up. Because there's a big chance that Dom, has a dirty victory, uh, with all the assistance that he usually gets. But I do feel like they've kind of been pushing Dragon Lee a bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up winning.
Mm, I
Yeah,
was gonna say my only thing would be Dragon Lee is like main roster, so why would they put the title on him? But like Dom is also main roster. He's in the Judgment Day, the
right,
arguably the biggest faction in WWE right now.
right. And he's put a lot of kind of shine on the North American Championship, just because he's from like such a huge popular faction. So
Right.
at what point is it like, all right, like people know about it now, like he can drop the belt. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna happen now, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I do still feel like he kind of has the edge. Um,
Honestly, I think they're gonna keep this title on Dom a little bit longer.
mhm.
Also, it's like his I know he's a two-time champion, but this is like his first run with a solo title. I think it's been a pretty good run so far,
Yeah.
and it kind of makes it feel like maybe if enough people get behind this, um, they're gonna put another title on him. Maybe like I don't think he's gonna be the one to beat Gunther, but maybe he beats the guy that beat Gunther,
Hmm. Yeah.
like put the IC title on him or something like that. Um, I will say Dom has matured and like just matured so much as a wrestler and as a character since he's joined up with the Judgment Day.
Hmm. Yeah. It's been
Like,
really, really good growth for him.
right, like when he first debuted and was a face teaming up with his father, and they won the tag titles together, it was kind of like, oh, they're just like, it kind of felt like they were just doing it because he's like a Nepo baby. But
Hmm.
now that he betrayed his own father and went with the Judgment Day, it's like, no, this guy's actually pretty talented. Like,
Right.
holy crap.
Right. I know. We joke a lot about how most of his wins, like he has help from the Judgment Day and everything, but he's got skills,
Yeah,
and
he
he's
was
very
pretty
entertaining.
impressive in the War Games.
Right.
And I,
If you're able to walk out and immediately get the entire like audience like to boo at you and like make noise and get a reaction like that, you're doing something right.
yeah, he generates heat. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't even have to be a positive reaction from an audience to get a title on you. It's just got to be a reaction. Like,
Right.
this kid is getting booed before he even opens his mouth. They hand him the mic, and the crowd is just like, "You
We don't want
suck.
to hear what you have to say.
Oh, we want mommy, not this guy. Boo." Um.
That's gonna be really fun on Saturday, just being able to cheer with the crowd and make a lot
Oh
of noise
yeah,
and go with the chants and all that.
that's my favorite part about watching wrestling live is the crowd, is the atmosphere, the energy, because it's like
Yeah.
it's just one big room of like-minded people. Like you might not like the same guys, you might not like the same style of wrestling, but you like wrestling. It's just a
Hmm.
huge like energy of all people who like the same thing you like.
Right.
It it starts and it just keeps building and building, and it's like it's one of the coolest experiences you'll ever get. Like that's why I urge people every time we record this to get out there and go see wrestling.
Yeah.
Like it
Just give
doesn't
it a
have to be a
shot.
big arena show. Go see a small local thing or whatever you have access to. It's always just a group of people who enjoy the same thing. Everyone's there to have fun, and everyone has fun. It's
Yeah.
just it's so cool. It's
It's
such a cool
infectious.
experience. It's like it's a different energy than a concert or like any other kind of sporting event.
Hmm.
It's hard to describe, but like when you're there in the moment, you're like, oh, this is it. I like this. This
Yeah.
feels good. It's so cool. It's so much fun.
That was a great little promo for all of wrestling right there.
Hey, thanks. Um, I'm just trying to play like a manager on TV. I'll
Yeah.
go manage the Judgment Day. I even have a character name. Are you ready?
Ooh, let's hear it.
My manager name is Reno, New Jersey, the sleaziest man in sports entertainment. This is
First name
copyrighted.
Reno, last name New Jersey.
Yes, it's hyphenated.
I love that.
Um, and my gimmick is like my suit doesn't fit quite right because I'm a sleaze bag, and
Yeah.
then I have a briefcase, and what's in the briefcase? A weapon for my heel wrestler I manage, and that
Ooh.
weapon, a framed photograph of his opponent's mother.
I
And
love
I
that.
slip it in the ring, and then they bash the photograph over the guy's head, and he's like, "What is this, my mom?" And my guy goes, "Yeah, forget about it." And then I do little finger guns.
You do finger guns with one hand and this, whatever this is called, motion with the other. The Italian sign.
Yeah, forget about it. Cugine, it's your ma, cugine.
Gabagool.
I can say that because I'm an Italian.
Oh yeah, I better be careful. I don't
When
have
you
the
do it, it's
Italian
cultural
pass.
appropriation.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Tim. Culturally appropriated grandpa.
I'll do better next time, I swear.
You better do that for Big Ralph. I've never called my grandpa that out loud. I'm workshopping it.
There you go. I think it landed.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
And then that, of course, makes my dad Lil Ralph. This is so off topic, but I do a character called Lil Ralph to piss my dad off.
Oh, let's hear
It's
it.
the funniest fucking thing. Oh, hey, it's me, Lil Ralph. What a beautiful day it is here in 1973. I just got home from school, and my mom forgot to put out a snack for me. Boy, am I ticked.
Wow.
Look at this. It's me, Lil Ralph. What a beautiful day it is here in 1975. It's 2 years later, and I'm home from school, and I missed an episode of the Beverly Hillbillies. Boy, am I peeved.
Dude, that was a great impression.
Hey, thank
I was
you.
able to tell that you were doing Little Ralph instantly when you said, "Hey, it's me, Little Ralph."
Yeah, I said
really
it
gave it
twice
away.
in case you forgot.
Yeah.
And that's funny because one, it sounds nothing like my dad, and two, I don't think that show was on in the 70s. I don't know when it was on,
I
or
just
how
picked
old
a show.
my dad was then. I just say a show. You
And
know,
no one can fact check me.
my dad has seen every episode of NYPD Blue except for one, and he
Oh,
missed
which
it
one?
because I was being born. And he has yet to let me live it down. He still hasn't seen it because he
How dare you break that
can't
streak?
find it anywhere.
You gotta get him a DVD box set and give it to him for his birthday.
I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna get a magnet and rub that episode out of the DVD.
That'll teach him. That'll teach him to have a
This
kid.
kind of makes it sound like my dad is kind of an asshole. He's not. I love him. He's just so fucking funny that that's the story he told me about the day I was born. He was like, I missed an episode of my cop show. And I was like, oh, sorry, I was being brought into this world.
Sorry for existing, I guess.
I was your idea. Get over it.
No, we tease the ones we love.
Speaking of teasing the ones we love, Dom Mysterio sure does that to Ray a lot.
Oh,
in
yes.
the corner of Dragon Lee in this very match we're talking about.
Another flawless transition.
That's why they call me the trans king. Wait a minute.
Hold on a second.
Hey, wait a minute. I think Dom is going to retain in this match, buddy.
All right. We'll see. We'll see if it's true.
We will, because as the title and as we've said several times, we'll be there live.
We'll be there live. In fact,
Right.
we might find out a few seconds before everyone who's watching on TV.
There could be a little bit of a delay scheme.
A little bit of a broadcast delay. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Next match.
I believe it would be the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Is that right?
Timothy, you're correct. And in this
Yes.
year's Women's Iron Survivor, we've got Tiffany Stratton, Lash Legend, Blair Davenport, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley.
Mm-hmm. So,
5 of the women from the NXT roster.
so one thing I want to ask, and I'm not asking this because I don't know what an Iron Survivor Challenge is. I'm asking this because maybe someone who's watching doesn't know what it is, but could you explain what the Iron Survivor Challenge is?
Why, yes, I can. Let me tab over to the screen where I opened that. So, this is the second ever Iron Survivor Challenges matches. It debuted last year at the first Deadline event.
Okay.
So, this was a match created and announced by Shawn Michaels of DX, who's also the general manager of NXT.
Mhm.
So what Iron Survivor is, two matches, two of the women, and the men, it's two of the men, start in the ring.
Okay.
Every 5 minutes, another enters until all five are in. The goal is to have the most falls by the end of 25 minutes. 1 point if you win a fall. If you lose, you go into the penalty box for 90 seconds. So, what it means by if you lose, if you're the person who gets pinned to earn someone a point, or you tap out to earn somebody a point, you go into the penalty box.
Oh.
The person who gets the most falls when the clock hits 25 minutes wins and becomes the number one contender to the NXT Championship, the NXT Women's Championship. Whichever
Mhm.
match you're in, you win the number one contendership for your title.
Gotcha. Interesting. I dig that concept. It's a bit different. It's not like you kind of whittle down the competition. It seems like there'll be a lot of action kind of ongoing. And it'll be cool. I feel like any match types where you'll have like pinfalls or submissions, and then the match will still keep going. I kind of like that a lot. Like if you have like a 2 out of 3 falls, stuff like
Yeah,
that. Because
so it's a play on the Iron Man match. So an Iron Man match is usually 60 minutes long, and you earn points by pinfall, submission, count out, that stuff. Whoever has the most points at the end is the winner after an hour. So it's
right,
just like a more condensed. Honestly,
yeah,
it's kind of like there's a in TNA wrestling, Impact. They used to have this match called the King of the Mountain, and it was like five guys, and I'm kind of foggy on it, but it was this cool gimmick match they invented. So it was like five guys, um, and it's a ladder match, but you don't pull the championship down. You have to climb up and hang it on the little hook.
oh,
So to
okay,
get the title, like to access the title to climb up, you have to pin a guy, and then the guy you pin goes in the penalty box or something like that.
hmm
But there's definitely a penalty box, which makes me think the Iron Survivor is like, oh hey, what if we combine the Iron Man and the King of the Mountain? Boom.
yeah, that'd be
Um,
fun.
but then of course there was also the Queen of the Mountain, the women's version.
There you go.
So yeah, I'm excited. This is a signature gimmick match for the Deadline pay per view.
hmm
Um, so of the five women in this match, Tiffany Stratton is a former NXT Women's Champion, and
Right.
Fallon Henley is a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. So there's two
hmm
people that have already held gold. Lash Legend, Blair Davenport, and Kalani Jordan would be like first time number one contenders
hmm
if they won. Um, you watched NXT.
I
Lash
did,
Legend
yes.
body slamming Otis.
That was insane.
That was awesome.
Like she just picked him up, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like
Yeah.
that is a full man.
So on Tuesday's NXT, there was a six-person mixed tag team match. The Alpha Academy, Otis, Chad Gable, and Maxine took on the Metaphor, Noam Dar, Ora Mensa, and Lash Legend. Um, Alpha Academy gets the victory. But yeah, Lash Legend picked up that big beef that is Otis and
Otis.
body slammed him.
It
It
was it
was
was wild.
insane. It's
Yeah,
like, whoa, how'd she do that? I think
yeah.
she used to play in the WNBA.
Oh wow.
She's like a, a two sport athlete, basketball and
Mm,
wrestling.
there you go.
She's another person who's vastly improved in ring because when she first debuted, it's like, ooh, this is rough.
hmm
But I think she's gotten better. And
Nice.
Metaphor is cool as a group. Like they're just so obnoxious.
I liked their
they're like
entrance.
TikTok people. I guess is the best way to describe them.
Yeah, like influencer
Yeah,
types.
yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that always gets me, Noam Dar is so hard to understand when he talks
Noam Dar.
because he's Scottish, but he's also Middle Eastern. So I think his accent is like a hybrid of a Scottish and like a Pakistani
a,
accent
a clash of
sort
vocal
of thing.
cords.
Yeah, so it's like I don't even want to do an impression because I'm afraid I'll offend Noam if
That's a
he's
good
listening.
bet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Blair
Yeah, so
Davenport, cool to
I
see
think I
her.
remember Blair from another NXT event, and it was
We've
exciting to
talked about
watch.
her on this podcast.
There we go. My
Great
memory's not
American
failing.
Bash,
That's right.
the Weapons Wild match against
That's
Roxanne
what it
Perez.
was.
Yep.
Hmm.
Oh man, that was a good match. That
Yeah.
might have been the best match from that show, except for Carmelo versus Dragunov.
Hmm.
But oh my god, that was the Gable Steveson thing.
That was not the best show or
Oh,
best
that
match of the show.
sucked. That was dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's in WWE anymore.
Oh wow, they cut him that quick.
I think he left
Good
or
riddance.
got let go or what. But
Oh
yeah,
goodness.
that sucked.
Yeah. That was a wild thing.
Yeah, I'm glad Baron Corbin moved on to bigger and better things in NXT.
Yeah.
Um,
True. And
but he,
Kalani Jordan, I believe we were talking about like Lash Legend was in the WNBA. I think Kalani Jordan was a gymnastics, like collegiate gymnastics
oh, that's
competitor.
cool.
Um,
Yeah,
they might have mentioned it when they were doing kind of the little promo for the Iron Survivor on NXT last night. But if I had to pick out of these five, I'm kind of pulling for Kalani Jordan. I think maybe having that background in gymnastics is going to give her a lot of stamina to kind of keep it at 100% for the
yeah,
whole thing. But you know, maybe having uh, like knowledge of either like holding a championship or anything like that might help either Tiffany Stratton or Fallon Henley. But
that's
I'll
my
be pulling
pick.
for Kalani.
Tiffany, gotta go
You're going
with my
for
girl.
Tiffany. Yeah.
Dude, I'm wearing my Tiffany shirt to this thing. I
got it
have the
got it fresh off the iron, nice and
dude.
clean.
I haven't ironed it yet, no, but I did wash it.
There you
Um,
go.
it's bright pink and it says "I'm hot" on it, and then
Hell
in
yeah.
cursive on the back it says "Toodles." It's one of the more flamboyant T-shirts I own.
Hell yeah, dude. I love
Oh
that.
man, if I'm not wearing tie dye, I'm wearing a basic black tee. But this Tiffany shirt called to me. I was like, I gotta wear
There you
that.
go. A good
But
change up.
I think Tiffany Stratton, one of the most talented women on the NXT roster. She is a former NXT champion. She um she dropped the belt to Becky Lynch, which I think bizarre choice.
Mhm.
Like insane, completely derailed like her momentum.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see her win this to kind of get back on track. If she's not going main roster, I think putting the women's title back on her would be a good idea.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me. I
I'm
don't know
with
if that
you.
burp came through. Um,
It did, but I'll
I
forgive.
I just have to interrupt for a second because I'm watching AEW Dynamite in the
Oh.
background while we're recording. Ben Mankiewicz from Turner Classic Movies is introducing Tony Storm to the ring for her match
Hmm.
because Tony Storm's like gimmick right now is like timeless old Hollywood like
Right.
movie starlet,
Right.
and they just did a crossover with Turner Classic Movies. Didn't
Wow.
have that on my pro wrestling
I'm sh-
bingo card.
I'm sure that's a reference that wrestling fans of today will love and appreciate.
It's that frigging guy from when you go to the movie theater and they're like, "Here's a Fathom event with Turner Classic Movies," and then that dude with the black hair comes out and he's like,
Yeah.
"Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz." That frigging guy, I hate that guy. It's so annoying. I just want to watch the movie. Leave me alone.
Get out
I
of
don't need
here.
you to introduce Godzilla versus Megalon.
I
I
just
I
want to
know
watch
those
Godzilla.
I know those two characters. Don't explain to me Big Lizard. But anywho, I think you're gonna enjoy these Iron Survivors a lot.
Yeah, I'm
Like
excited for them. They'll be fun.
gimmick matches are cool. I like a little gimmick, as I
Yeah.
say.
Just a little sprinkling of a gimmick.
Just a little smattering of gimmick matches, please.
May I have some gimmick, please?
Please, sir, my cup of soup
Please.
it has gone cold. Warm it with a gimmick. A tiny morsel of gimmick, please.
Just a smidgen.
Um, I do think it would be a shock if Fallon Henley won. Um, not because she's not talented or anything. It just seems like she's the underdog because she is the person that won the last chance qualifier.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it'd be cool if she won the whole thing because I think that's who Tiffany beat to qualify.
Mhm.
Because what they do is like you have to qualify for this match, and it's um the matches got. I don't remember if they did this the first time. I don't think they did, but for this year's Iron Survivors, the first four qualifiers were all selected by WWE Hall of Famers.
Mhm.
Um, it was JBL. I know did one. Jerry the King Lawler, Mick Foley, and I'm not sure who the fourth person was, but all these matches were set by Hall of Famers, and then the fifth qualifier is a fatal four-way between the people who lost the four qualifying matches. It's called like the last chance qualifier.
That
Um,
makes sense.
so Fallon Henley was the person who won the last chance qualifier to get into this match. But I'm going Tiffany this
All
one
right.
because that's my girl.
Gotta root. Gotta root for the person whose shirt you have on.
Yeah, that's why I wore it to show that I am a fan.
Duh.
The idiot. All
All
right.
right. So what do we got for the men's match?
Men's Iron Survivor Challenge this year features Dijak, Josh Briggs, Braun Breaker, Tyler Bate, and Trick Williams.
All right. Got some good ones in here. I think this is gonna be exciting. All these
Yeah,
guys.
this is like I think Tyler Bate is the smallest guy in the match.
Mhm.
Everyone else is just big.
Yeah.
Um, I would like I don't I know Braun Breaker is in it, and like he's talented. He's a former two-time NXT champion, but it's like, do they give him the belt a third time?
Right.
Kind of feels like they don't know what to do with Braun Breaker in NXT at the moment.
hmm I feel
It
like he has
it
a lot of
re-
momentum. He seems pretty
yeah,
popular.
people like him. I really thought he was going to lose the qualifier due to interference by Von Wagner, who he's been feuding with, and we
Mhm.
were going to get Von Wagner versus Braun at this show 1-on-1. But
Mm.
Braun ended up in the Iron Survivor. Um, I think there's two people that could get involved and cause some shenanigans in this. I think Von Wagner and Mr. Stone could show up and cause some issues for Braun.
Mhm.
Um, and then Lexus King or Carmelo could show up and cause some shenanigans for Trick.
Yep. Yeah, because they had a whole kind of bit between Carmelo and Trick Williams.
Yeah, Carmelo and Trick used to be like running buddies. They were like a tag team.
hmm
And it's like someone attacked Trick to get him out of a title match or something.
hmm
And they don't know if it's Lexus or Carmelo who did it, or if Carmelo is in cahoots with Lexus, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think this is gonna be like just big meaty men slapping meat. Um,
Yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Josh Briggs is the underdog. I think he had a shock qualifier by defeating Carmelo
Mhm.
after interference from Lexus King, but I don't think anyone thought Josh Briggs, who is a former NXT UK Tag Team Champion, was going to qualify for this match. But
Right.
it's cool when they put someone in that's like unexpected, you
Yeah.
know,
A little shake up here and there.
a little mix up, you know.
Yeah.
But I think aside from Josh Briggs, any one of these guys could feasibly hold the NXT title.
hmm
I wouldn't be upset if any of these men were the ones to defeat Dragunov.
Has Trick Williams ever held the championship?
He held the North American title for a week, or
hmm
not even a week, because he beat Dirty Dom at No Mercy.
hmm
So that was on a Saturday.
And then
Oh
Dom
yeah,
won
he
it
held it
back
for 3 days because Dom won it back
mm,
that Tuesday.
on Tuesday. I could see
Um,
Trick. Well, I like you were saying, with these matches, it's like picking one out of five. Like you have pretty low odds of uh of predicting right, but I think I'll be
right.
pulling for Trick for this one because I think he's a lot of fun to watch. Um, and I don't know.
Yeah, Trick
I
is
like his
cool.
character. I like him a lot.
He's gonna whoop that trick or whatever, or work that.
Yeah.
I don't know what he says, but it's either whoop that trick or work that trick. Uh, I think I'm gonna go with Dijak on this one. I think
All right. All
it's
right.
about time that guy got a shot at the title.
Sick. Yeah.
Another funny anecdote. Before he was Dijak, he was T-Bar in the Retribution. But before he was T-Bar, he was in NXT as Donovan Dijakovic.
Donovan
And
Dija what?
Dijakovic.
Dijakovic. All right.
And every time they said his name, my dad would go, "Isn't that the guy from Scooby Doo?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "The pterodactyl ghost. Isn't that his name?" I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" So
That is
finally
such a
he
deep
Googles
cut
it and he's like,
reference.
"Oh, Jonathan Jacobo, the pterodactyl ghost." And I was like, "That's not even remotely close. It's funny,
Oh my
but you're
goodness.
wrong."
What an odd what an odd like oh you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
You know the pterodactyl guy from Scooby Doo. What? The- He's a he's half pterodactyl, half guy. I know what pterodactyl guy is, but
Just a bit off the mark there.
half pterodactyl, half guy. That's not what I was confused about, but thank you. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Iron Survivor challenges now.
Yeah, they're cool.
Should be fun. A
And
nice lengthy, fun, gimmicky match.
right,
I'm
so
excited.
at least half an hour of this show will be Iron Survivor matches.
Hmm. Hell yeah.
I think the other matches are going to go a little long because it's going to feel like I think 3 hours about. But
That'll be good.
I hope Dom versus Dragon Lee is long.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't picture any of these being like squashes or like less than.
no, I think if anything is a squash, it's going to be Carmelo and Lexus. But other than that,
Mhm,
if it is a squash, it's in favor of Carmelo. Um,
mhm.
and that, my dear Tim, brings us to the
The
main
main
event
event.
for the evening:
Hell yeah.
WWE NXT Championship match. Reigning and defending champion Ilya Dragunov one-on-one with Baron Corbin.
Hell friggin' yeah.
I don't know if I said this before we were recording or very early in the recording, but main roster Baron Corbin never really did anything for me. Now that he's back in NXT for the second time, dude's killing it. Like
Yeah.
he's made a fan out of me. I
Yeah.
had
Oh,
zero interest,
he's got
and now
great
I'm
mic
like,
skills.
yeah. Oh, I'm opening a water bottle. Excuse me.
Oh, I'll forgive, but I won't forget.
I knew it.
Oh,
This
that
is how
sounded
our
like a great gulp right there.
hey, thanks. This is how our 27 years of no, 24 years of friendship ends.
how how dare you hydrate yourself in my presence?
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't want dry mouth for the recording, but whatever. No, it's fine.
I'll
I'll
allow
fuck
it.
it. Um, I don't think Baron's gonna win. I think Dragunov will retain,
Okay.
but Baron's been cooking, and
Yeah.
like you said about his good mic skills, like the summit thing they did to close out NXT before all the Iron Survivor guys came out and brawled.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That was cool.
Dragunov impassioned to say the least.
Yes.
Um, and Baron just stirring the pot. It was a very good like dynamic between the two of them.
Right.
Um, which is I think why they sent Baron down to NXT. They sent a lot of the main roster guys down because they have someone they want them to work with to kind of elevate them. And
Exactly.
it was
Yeah,
like when
I feel like Baron does a really good job at kind of, like putting on good matches with like talent that they're trying to develop and
yeah,
really kind of showcasing them and like that's such like a fantastic like skill to have, I guess.
he's a very good heel to put against like a face guy you're trying to build,
Right.
like a new young face wrestler. So putting him against Dragunov in Dragunov's title reign, fire. Tremendous idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is his first challenge that's not Carmelo. Maybe
for
I'm not.
Ilya.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but that'll be good.
yeah, It's going to be a clash of styles, which is always entertaining.
Mhm.
Baron Corbin, very tall, very strong, and then Dragunov is a little shorter, but he's very strong and very fast.
Yeah.
Oh man, there was like this cool ass sliding knee suplex he hit on Carmelo at the Great American Bash. I'm like, if he could hit that on Corbin, that'd be fucking insane.
That'd be crazy to see live.
Yeah. If Dom and Dragon Lee isn't match of the night, I think it'll be this. I really do.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to put anything against the Iron Survivors.
Right. Because, you were saying like we're not sure which match is going to be the main event, and it would make sense to have like either the Iron Survivor Challenge or the like NXT Championship. It would make sense for either of them to be main event, but I guess you kind of want to end on the highest of highs. So if they
Right.
think Ilya and Baron can do that, then maybe it will be the main event. We'll see.
And like Trick said to Carmelo on NXT, like, "Oh, you open the show, taking out Lexus King, and I'll close the show as the Iron Survivor." I'm like, is he being literal, or was he just like,
All right.
you know?
How far into his words are we reading?
Right.
Yeah.
All in all, I think it could be a pretty good show. I'm very excited.
I'm with you,
Like,
dude. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm always excited to see wrestling live, but like I've never been to a pay-per-view before. I've seen like the weekly shows. I've seen SmackDown, Raw, ECW, and AEW. And I'm like, I've never been to a pay-per-view. So when I heard this was coming to Connecticut, I was like, I don't care
Let's
how far I
go.
have to drive. I'm getting tickets. I'm texting Tim, and my dad is coming too. He's
Hell
coming,
yeah.
But like, yeah, the last time a pay per view came to Connecticut, I was living in Florida, and I was like, damn it, because it was in
Damn.
Hartford. There was
Ooh.
oh wait, no, there was maybe a Money in the Bank, and then also an NXT takeover,
Mm.
and it was like I was watching the NXT takeover with my friends in Florida, and I was like, wow, I had my college graduation in that same arena. That's crazy. And they're like, wow,
Damn.
you graduated in a building the Street Profits won the tag titles in. I'm like, crazy.
Yes. What are the
Insane.
odds?
What are the chances? There's only really one big arena in this state.
It'll be fun. I'm glad
Yeah,
we were able to make it work out.
I'm pumped, to say the least.
To put it bluntly, so am I.
Wow, glad we're on the same page.
Agreed.
And that about wraps it up for us here at Slamtown.
Yeah, our predictions are there. They're forever immortalized into this episode. So we will
Yeah,
see. We'll see if we were correct or not.
we'll find out. Whoever has more correct predictions has to get a hot dog from the loser. You have to buy me a hot dog.
There you go. There's a lot riding
Stadium
on
hot
this.
dog.
One whole hot
Stadium
dog.
hot dog. It's the best food. It's like those dudes on TikTok that are like, sports bar chicken parm. Sports bar chicken parm.
Sports bar, fries, and burger.
Yeah, sports bar. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
for
Thank you
listening
for
once
listening.
again. We genuinely appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you for sticking with us, everyone. Whatever time of day you're listening to this show, have a good one of them.
And have fun.